And it wasn't really until I did Star Wars that we started to deal with some digital technology. It was very early on in the process of making films using computers. And we had to build some special purpose computers for Star Wars.
It's hard for most people to understand now, but it was such a huge, monumental struggle to get Star Wars made. No one understood it, the studios didn't get it, and no one understood how complicated the visual effects were at those times. He didn't have the technology. It was insane to even attempt it.
It took a very long time for us to change from analog technology to digital technology. Even inside my own company, with my own group of people, there were a lot of people that had a very hard time making that transition. We had to very slowly move them to working with computers.
It was a very unusual group of people. This group had come together, been brought together at George's request to come up with ways to be able to pan the cameras during these space scenes of spaceships flying along. Doug Trumbull had worked in 2001, and one of the guys that he worked with when he came back to LA was John Dykstra, and John picked up a lot of the stuff from Doug, and John had made an architectural camera, essentially, a camera that can move through miniature buildings and all to sort of give a preview of what it might look like if you built those buildings. And that was the basis of the motion control system for Star Wars.
Then, right after Star Wars, I decided there was possibility here of digital technology to be introduced into the process of making movies. So we started the computer division. We put together a group of guys headed by Ed Catmull. We built a digital editing system, which was the Edit Droid, which we eventually sold to Avid. And it proved that it was much, much easier to cut digitally than it was to cut physically on film. And the same thing with the Sound Droid, which was a digital sound system, a laser printer to bring images in and out of a computer, and Pixar, which was a special purpose graphics computer. And these were primarily to ease the process of editing and doing special effects.
The film business at that time, with the exception of Lucasfilm, did not care at all about high technology. For them, computer graphics was completely irrelevant. Lucasfilm really was the only place at that time willing to take a risk. And George did take the risk.
Change is happening more and more rapidly. The advancements in the technology are going every 3 or 4 months, and it's generational, which means the younger generation accepts it infinitely faster than the older generation does. We're at that point in history with cinema, where it's gone from an esoteric world for an elite few to something that anybody can do. We're literally at a point now where anybody can make a movie.